Welcome to the Lee Etzler Show, a weekly wrap-up and analysis of Churubusco High School Football.
Eagles, what is your profession? Out, out, out.
And now your host, Big Daddy Don Hyatt.
Hi, welcome to the Lee Etzler Show. I'm Dave Crable sitting in for Don Hyatt this week. Very exciting week, third year of the Lee Etzler Show. I'm very happy to have head coach Lee Etzler with us. Coach started off the season with a great win against Fremont last week.
Yeah, thought it was a pretty successful first week. Fremont was a much improved football team from last year. Have quite a few athletes, and they've been pretty excited all off season and been very motivated. So it was a good challenge ahead of us. Came off, started the game real strong, scored the first 20 points, and then they had a little momentum after that. And like I said, good athletes and coached pretty well, and so forced us to buckle down in the second half.
They gave us a good game last year, didn't they? I thought they battled us pretty good last year.
Yeah, more from our mistakes than anything else. This year it was a good game because they played a heck of a football game. We saw some things Friday night that we didn't see from their scrimmage film, so there were some things that we weren't prepared for. Physically they held up pretty well. So we felt we played pretty fast, we played pretty physical, and they stood toe to toe with us for most of the game.
Who stood out for you this year? I mean, not this year, but in the game itself. I mean,
yeah, real pleased with Jay. Didn't have a lot statistics wise. We called a few passes, and there was a penalty on a long pass he had, and then I think we dropped a couple of them. We've been excited about him because he's an intelligent kid. He's a good leader, and he makes good decisions. Was interested to see how he would approach the game. A lot to be nervous about. Really didn't play it down last year of football at any level. Thought there might be the potential for him to be nervous and worked up with the emotion of the first game. But very impressed with how he handled the game, and we're very comfortable with him being the voice in the offensive huddle, and think we're going to see some pretty good things from Jay this year.
Jay's going to join us here a little bit later. You have any other words while we're talking about Jay? Other than good leadership?
He allows us, intelligence-wise, he allows us to do, we'll at different times checks and plays at the line of scrimmage, and he's a kid that is more than intelligent enough to do that with, when things get going poorly and in the offense, the huddles have a tendency to quiet down, and players have a tendency to feel sorry for themselves. Well, Jay understands all that sort of thing, and like I said, we're real happy that he's the voice in the huddle, and think we're going to see some pretty good things. Guess I wouldn't have thought he could do some good things throwing the ball and directing the offense, but had 2 rushing touchdowns, which I wouldn't have guessed that going into the game.
Right.
But made good decisions to run him and stuck his nose in and scored. So so that was a nice surprise as well.
That was a great run. First one, I think 14, 15 yards
Yeah.
out. He jetted on that left side and come right, he had a great run back through there.
Very, very good, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Corey Miller also played some pretty outstanding football on the offense and defensive side too.
Yeah, he's and we like him a lot. He's so physical. Made a couple good blocks, physical blocks offensively. Scored I think 2 rushing touchdowns and had an interception return for a touchdown. So he's another kid that is a game changer for us, and need him on the field a lot. And we overall, I guess if there's a slightly disappointing thing, didn't think we played as fast in the second half as we did in the first half, and we just need to get better conditioning wise for that.
Do you just think that was conditioning, or was it a mental letdown because you guys are so far ahead?
Could have been both. Could have been both. But there is something to be said. Our kids condition pretty hard, and they condition pretty hard even in the off season. But it's a different type of conditioning when you're in a varsity football game, and you add the physical activity plus the emotional highs and lows of what goes on in the football game, and can be draining. And we found over the years that a lot of times it takes 4 or 5 weeks for kids to really get in the mix of being able to handle that down after down, offense and defense.
Yeah, exactly. Offensive line, you were talking earlier about Kuznar, 4-year starter, just a great offensive line player in your team.
Yeah, he played pretty well in the defensive line, and he's got as much experience at those positions as anybody around has. So and he continues to do a pretty good job for us. We don't get kids like him very often. I think he's 265, 270 now, and moves pretty well and is strong. So we like to have them on our team every once in a while because we don't get them. We've played years where, of course, you might not find more than one guy over 200 pounds in the offensive line. So it allows you to do some different things when you have a big physical guy, and he does that for us. So yeah, we expect big things from him all year.
If you can stick around, we're gonna come back here in a minute and talk about some defense. So everybody else stick around. We'll be right back, talk to Coach about the defensive plays, and stay with us.
I lost my job and I needed help with different things like prescriptions and energy assistance and stuff. So I contacted United Way. They was the first ones that I could think of. And I went to the agencies that they gave me a list of and got the assistance that I needed from them. Because I received the help from United Way, then I'm volunteering my help out to the community, giving the help that they need.
Hey football fans, do you want to keep track of Churubusco High School football games? Log on to busconews.com every game day and watch up-to-the-minute pregame, halftime, and postgame interviews with head coach Lee Etzler. Stay connected with your computer or on your cell phone. busconews.com. When you can't make it to the game, it's the next best thing to being there.
Okay, welcome back to the show. We're here talking to Coach Lee Etzler about the Fremont game that they won 46-13 last week. Talking about defense now, Lee, who stood out in your mind in the defensive side of the ball against Fremont?
Pretty pleased with defensive backfield. Had a couple holes. Had 2 senior corners last year, and so we have some younger guys playing in those positions. Logan Harris, we thought played a real good game. Defensively at cornerback, and Bo Barkley was a kid that last cornerback position was a position we didn't really know who that was going to go to, and he kind of emerged here the last week or two at that position. We were far from perfect, but was pleased with at least the maturity they seemed to play with on Friday night. Logan covered well, made some pretty good tackles. There was a 2-point conversion on their first touchdown, I believe, that made a tackle on that where he was alone by himself, and and covered well. And Bo more the same. We need to fix some angles and things like that on how we're attacking things when they get to the flank. But pretty pleased with the way they played. Corey Miller is a physical threat, at the safety position, and Hayden Kilgore made a couple good plays at the other safety position. So was pretty pleased at what we saw from them, especially considering maybe a little bit of a question mark going into the year.
Mm-hmm. Defense trademarking your team all the time, seems like. Lee, power running game, power defense. Hardly anybody can run on us up the middle, and that's a testament to the offensive line. And you said Kuznar plays defensive line this year as well, huh?
Yeah, and he's looking to be significantly better than even last year. Added strength, added maturity, experience, physical. It's going to be tough for people to move him out of the way. Has gotten a lot better at using his hands, and pursues the ball pretty well. He's a big kid, but he can run okay. So, they didn't run, between the tackles very often on Friday night, but he did his job and even made a couple plays on the flank with some good pursuit.
They ran a couple kickoff returns back pretty decent. And that punt return, I thought they had some decent, yardage gain back on that one.
Yeah, and those are things we need to get better at. For whatever reason, it's a difficult concept. Special teams, especially punt coverage, kickoff coverage. That's a large amount of space you're asking kids to cover, and responsibilities, and teaching the responsibilities and things like that. And we've had problems in the past where we have a tendency to run. We always talk about stop his feet, stop his feet, stop his feet. Not very often. No matter how athletic you are you going to run 30, 40 yards downfield and tackle somebody one-on-one? Well, if we can, the first guy can stop his feet and allow the other guys around him to catch up, well, that's the main focus. We didn't do a very good job of that at different times. Braden Shigley, we thought, was a very nice surprise, not only defensively in general, but did a great job on kickoff coverage, made quite a few, 2 or 3 real good tackles on kickoff team, and other than him, we need to get better on kickoff team.
Yeah, that's right. Good job, Lee. You can stick around again. We're going to come back and talk about that Central Noble game. So everybody else stick around. We'll be right back. We're going to talk to Coach Lee Etzler about the upcoming battle against our what kind of opponents are they? The arch rivals, Lee? Our arch rivals, Central Noble Cougars.
I lost my job and I needed help with different things like prescriptions and energy assistance and stuff. So I contacted United Way. They was the first ones that I could think of. And I went to the agencies that they gave me a list of and got the assistance that I needed from them. Because I received the help from United Way, then I'm volunteering my help out to the community, giving the help that they need.
Hey football fans, do you want to keep track of Churubusco High School football games? Log on to busconews.com every game day and watch up-to-the-minute pregame, halftime, and postgame interviews with head coach Lee Etzler. Stay connected with your computer or on your cell phone. busconews.com. When you can't make it to the game, it's the next best thing to being there.
Hey, welcome back. We're here talking with senior quarterback number 12, Jay Petrie. Jay, welcome to the show. Good to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. So this is your first year you started at quarterback. You've been quarterback for the last couple seasons. Last year you were hurt. How's it feel to get in the game this year?
It felt good. Just being out and going through warm-ups, going through practices and stuff's fun, and then getting the game is unbelievable. Was it a neck injury, Jay? Is that what it was, or what did you have? It was in the L5 vertebrae, so it's the lowest vertebrae, and it was pars fracture on the left pedicle. So it was a stress fracture that got worn down. So it was a stress fracture. So now you're able to play. Huh? Yeah, it ended up healing, and so they figured that out. And we played. So last Friday's game, you had the coach was here talking a little bit ago, and said they was kind of surprised that you had a couple touchdowns on the run. He said we would never thought you hit that. Your first run was, I think, on the left side, 14, 15-yard run. That was a nice one. How'd that feel? That felt good. Initially, I didn't know what was going to happen. I rolled out and saw there was no one between me and the end zone, so I told Jake, Geiger, guard, take off, and punched it in. Punched it in. That was really nice. And then your other one, I think, was a couple-yard run down at the other end. Yeah. Towards the end of the game. Jay, tell us about what the offensive line does for you. I mean, the offensive line is a tremendous part of Churubusco football. I mean, they give you a lot of blocks so that you guys can run and get the passes out. Talk about that line a little bit. Oh, line, we got a lot of experience up front. We a couple seniors, and they're rotating in and out. We got some underclassmen rotating in, so it's really fun. Jay, I know your folks. I know your dad was quarterback of the football team as well. So you've grown up around when he was in school, and we won't say what year was it when John was. Well, it was in the '80s. But tell us why. Tell me what it's like to grow up around that and be a part of it. Now you're the head quarterback of the team, and I mean, what's that feel like? Well, it was always cool to know. Like my dad was the quarterback for Churubusco High School, and I always wanted to be the quarterback ever since I first started playing, so that was fun, and then be able to learn, and then obviously the great coaches we have here, they teach everything so well, and then finally be able to get the chance to put it all together. It's pretty cool. Tell us about playing for Coach Etzler and the coaches. What's that like? It's really fun. They like to, they have we have fun at practice, but we also like to get down to work. They're watching film all weekend and stuff and putting together a great scouting report for us and, telling us what we did wrong, what we, can improve on. And that's so helpful, so that way we don't, we're still watching film, but also when they tell us, it's good to know. And then in practice, we like to put it all together. So.
What, Jay, I know you're pretty do good in school. What are your plans after high school?
I'd like to attend college, obviously, and then probably maybe double major in something in business and then biology, and maybe go on to medical school, maybe graduate school. Don't know quite sure yet where I want to go, but I've visited a couple schools, so hopefully something turns out right.
All right, man. Well, good, very good. Jay, thanks for coming in. I appreciate you coming in, okay? And hold on right there, and we'll be back after this to talk to Coach about the upcoming Central Noble game, so stay with us.
Hey, this is quarterback for the Churubusco Eagles, Jay Petrie, and you're watching the Lee Etzler Show.
I lost my job and I needed help with different things like prescriptions and energy assistance and stuff. So I contacted United Way. They was the first ones that I could think of. And I went to the agencies that they gave me a list of and got the assistance that I needed from them. Because I received the help from United Way, then I'm volunteering my help out to the community, giving the help that they need.
Hey football fans, do you want to keep track of Churubusco High School football games? Log on to busconews.com every game day and watch up-to-the-minute pregame, halftime, and postgame interviews with head coach Lee Etzler. Stay connected with your computer or on your cell phone. busconews.com. When you can't make it to the game, it's the next best thing to being there.
Okay, welcome back. We're here talking with head coach, Churubusco's head coach Lee Etzler, about the upcoming game against arch rival Central Noble Cougars. Lee, Central Noble's always a battle with us. What do you think this year?
Yeah, they're interesting week. They've had some struggles in the recent past, and playing with a young team this year, and playing a young team in the second week is a dangerous thing because. Just in general, with any kind of team, you see the most improvement from week 1 to week 2. Especially a young team. So they got a handful of young kids playing, and so who knows what we're going to see.
Who have anybody that's decent up there, Lee? Or
yeah, they quarterback's a pretty good athlete, the Vice kid, and they have a receiver. They seem to like Burns. They seem to like to get the football to. I don't know how many catches he had last week, but they seem to be pretty committed to getting the ball to him. Fullback, that's kind of the focal point of their offense. 200-pound kid who runs pretty hard. So those are 3 of the bigger athletes that they're going to throw at us.
what? I know this gets this isn't touchy, but what's it been in a row that we beat them? 7, 8, 9 years, something like that.
Yeah, I think 2003 would have been the last year they beat us. So. Little run going on. You gotta be careful getting too comfortable though.
Yeah,
so.
that's what I mean. I don't want to you will get in trouble if you start talking like that, I guess. So tell me about the 7 o'clock start times. You got that? I know in the past you never liked that 7:30. So how instrumental were you in getting that 7 o'clock start time going?
Didn't have a whole lot to do with it. I don't like it when the game gets over at 10 o'clock, but I just assume play football in the evening when it's dark out, and so it made it interesting, especially with our press box camera. There's a big glare of the press box camera through most of the games. So, but it's something as we go along in the fall, it's not going to be that big of a difference.
Right. All right, Lee. Well, thank you. Appreciate you coming, taking your time and coming with us every week. And like third season of the show, hopefully Don will come back, and he was ill tonight, and so I took over for him. We want to thank Coach for stopping by with us and talking with us every week, and we do appreciate it. Everybody watch the Lee Etzler Show. Hopefully this year we're going to get on a little earlier than Thursday so everybody can watch it. We appreciate everybody watching. Don't forget game times at 7 this week at Central Noble, as every game this year. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time.
This has been the Lee Etzler Show, brought to you every Thursday night at 7:30 by busconews.com.